Hello everyone, my name is Saurabh Bansal. So today we are going to solve the problem of the day. The problem name is wildcard matching. So firstly we will understand the question, then we will understand the approach of the question, then we will see how to code that problem. Okay, so let's go on our screens and start the problem. So firstly we will understand the problem. So in this problem, basically they have given you two strings, patterns and str. Basically they have given you two string pattern and str, which may be different in size. You have to return one if the wildcard pattern, that is pattern, matches with string, else return 0. Okay, so basically they have given you two strings, and basically in that string one is pattern and one is string. Okay, if the pattern matches the string, then you have to return 1, and if doesn't matches, then you have to return 0. All characters of the string and patterns always belong to the alphanumeric characters. Okay, so basically they have given you string and pattern. So like this, in this case you can see over here that this is the pattern and this is a string. Okay, so in the pattern they have given you two special characters. One special character is a asterisk and second special character is a question mark. So basically they have some different rules. Okay, so like they have mentioned for the question mark, that for the question mark, the question mark can match only any single character, and for the asterisk part can match any sequence of characters including the empty sequence. Okay, let's understand it more clear. So basically asterisk can match any sequence. Okay, either it can be empty, it can take one character, or it can take one character, two character, three character, four character, any number of characters. Okay, basically I have written basically anything. Star can take any value, including the empty as well. Okay, please keep in mind that it can take the empty value as well. Okay, but if we talk about the question mark can only take up to one character, only one characters. It cannot take the empty as well. Okay, it can only take up to one character. Okay, so let's understand the question from one of the examples they have given you. So example one. Okay, so let's understand it. So this is the string. We have to match this string with the pattern. Okay, so in this case basically this b and b same, so we will move forward. So this a and a same. Now for this part, asterisk can take up to any value. So basically asterisk is going to take the value of this part. Okay, asterisk will take this part. If asterisk will take this part, so the asterisk will be basically manage this part. And now the a is a same, and the question mark, question will take only one character, so it can take the b value. So it will take the b value of this part. Okay, now if this is matched, the string and pattern can be matched, then we have to return 1. Okay, for this case we have to return 1. But if we see the second example, okay, if you see the second example, in this example basically if you see, this is the string and this is the pattern. Now if you will see that this string b and a, and it is not matching. Okay, the first character is not matching, that means we are not able to match this. Okay, so in this case we have to return 0. Okay, in this case we have to return 0. This is same, but this character is not same. Even the asterisk can take this value, but this character is not same, that means this pattern is not matching. So in this case we have to return 0. Now how to do this question? Basically if you will see this question will be very easy if there is only question mark, because question mark can take only one value. But if we talk about the asterisk, so that is the major problem in this question, because asterisk can take up to any value, and for this part we have to apply dp. For this we have to use the dp for this. Okay, so let's understand the dp solution for this part as well. Okay, so for this part we have taken this as string value. So I have make this as string. So this is the string, this is the str. Basically this is the str. Okay, now this is going to be the pattern, this is going to be the pattern, this is going to be the pattern. Okay, now for the string part I have made the string plus one empty character. This stands for empty character, this stands for empty. Okay, and for this part as well as this part is called for empty as well. Now in this tabular form, what is going to be the this value represent? This value will represent that is the string, is string till this point, matches this string. This will represent is string, this will matches this string or not. Okay, so basically this thing we have to put in this thing. Okay, so for this part the empty string, for both the empty string in this part, so empty will match empty. Yes, empty will match empty. Can empty will match b? No. So empty will not match b. Empty will match a? No. No, for everything this is going to be a no, a very big no. For this part, okay, can empty match this question mark? No, because question mark has to take one value, question mark cannot be empty. So that's why we have to put one cross over here. For this part, A, can A match the value of empty? No. For the asterisk, you have to decide, because asterisk can take the value of a null. But if it is taking null, then we have to see that if this is taking null, then we have to see the basically the downwards. We have to see the vertical. So if the vertical is not present, then we have to put the no. Can A tag take the value of empty? No. Can it take the value of empty? No. Basically, we will discuss it one more time. This value, we will discuss it one more time. Now, how to fill other things? Because other things can have three things. What first is any character? It can have one character. It can have any character. Okay. And there can be something like a question mark, if it is a question mark, or it can be a asterisk. Okay. So there are three cases basically. If it is a character, then what you have to do? Okay, if it is a character, then what you have to do, you have to match that character. Okay, if the character is same, okay, if the character is same, then we have to check it, that this means that this is same. So we have to check, is this string matches this string. So basically this answer, for this answer we have to put it diagonally. So for the character, if the character is same, okay, if the character is same, we have to check it diagonally. And if the character is not same, then we have to put a false, because if we talk about this value, this part, if we talk about this part, if this is not matching the A and B, if A and B is not matched, that means the string cannot be formed from this part pattern. So we have to directly put a false over here. False means the cross. Okay, now for the question mark, as the question mark can take only one value, so question mark will match this value. Okay, let's assume that this is going to be a question mark. So question mark will match this value. But what about this part? Okay, so this answer is going to be we can get this answer using the diagonal. So for this part, we have to put the answer of the diagonal. Okay, we just have to see, for a question mark, just have to see the diagonal. Let's talk about the, okay, so just give me a point, give me a second. Okay, for this part, we have to just check for the diagonal. But what about the asterisk? Asterisk can take any values. Okay, so firstly, already we have talked about the asterisk can take empty, asterisk can take one value, or asterisk can take uh, more than one value. If asterisk is taking, if we want to match that asterisk should take no value, so we have to see for this part. Okay, for this part we have to see that if it is empty, then we have to see for this part, that is it matching this kind of this string or not. Okay, so for this part, if it has a true, then we have to put true. If this is not, matching, then we have to see for this part, that means if the asterisk would take the value of A, then we have to see this part, that means this should match this value. Okay, if it is a true, then we have to put true. Or if the asterisk is not matching this part, we have to see for this part as well. Okay, so for this part, we have to check for, if there is any true, then we have to put a true for this part. Okay, so we have to check, row minus 1. We have to check row minus 1 on the right side. Okay, so this is how we are going to fill this value. Okay, for a question mark, question mark will take the value of B. Is it matching the diagonal? Yes, so we have to put a true. Okay, so this is going to be a true. The question mark will take the value of A. Is it matching the diagonal? No, so we have to put cross. The question mark will take the value of B. Is it matching the other string? No, so we have to put all the things are going to be false over here, because the question mark will take the value of B, but the other string is not going to match this thing. Okay, that's why we have put in the cross over here. Now let's talk about A. For the character part, if the character is same, then we have to check diagonally. If the character is not same, then we have to put a false. This character is not same, so similarly we have to put a false. This character is same, the character A and A is same, that means we have to check for this part, is this matching this string? Yes, this is matching this string, so we have to check for diagonal, then it is going to be a true. Okay, so for this part, B and A is not matching, so we have to put a false. Then we have to check A and A is matching, but if we check diagonally, then it is a false, so we have to put a false. A and A is matching, but diagonally it is a false, so we have to put false. A and A is matching, but we have to put diagonally it is a false, so we have to put a false. A and B is not matching, so we have to directly put it as a false. Okay, now let's talk about the major thing, that is going to be a star, means asterisk. Okay, let's talk about the asterisk. So I'm taking a new pen. Asterisk. If we talk about the asterisk part, so first for the asterisk part, we have to check if the asterisk is not going to take any value. That means it is going to be the empty case. So if we are talking about empty case, then we have to check the basically the downwards. We have to check it downwards, that if the downwards, it means that if the asterisk is not taking any value, that means if it is not taking any value, that means it is also a false. If it takes the value of b, then we have to check this way, it is also false. So right now it is going to be a right now it is going to be a false. Okay, right now it is going to be a false. Now for if we talk about the a part, okay, so if we talk about this part, so if it is empty, then it is going to be a true. So we have to put directly it is a true. Okay, if asterisk is going to take this value, okay, so if asterisk is going to be empty, then it is going to be basically it is not going to give us answer. But if asterisk is going to give us, if if we are going to give the asterisk the value of b, then it is going to give us a true answer. So that means it is going to be a true. Okay, now if we talk about the asterisk a, so if the asterisk will take not any value, if we are planning to make the asterisk as empty, then it is going to give us a false. But if we are giving the value asterisk of a, asterisk as a, then it is going to be a false. But if we are going to give the value of a and b, then it is going to be a true. So we have to put a true. Okay, so for this part we have to check basically if there is a true, then we have to match a true. But if we will check for every part, then it is going to be a n cube time complexity. But if you just see this part, okay, we have to check this thing. Okay, if in this case anything of this, the row plus one and the column plus one, if it is a true, then we have to put a true. So basically we have to put a true for everything. Okay, because this is a true, this is a true, for this every part we have to put a true. Okay, now let's talk about the character a. Now a and b are different, so we have to put across. A and a are same, but we have to check for diagonal, and it is not same, so we are going to put across. A and b are also not same. A and b are also not same, so we are going to put a false. A and a are same, and if you see, the a will take the place of a, and now we have to check the diagonally, because if it is same, then we have to check diagonally. If we are checking it diagonally, then we have to put a true. Okay, now a is same and we have to check for diagonally, then it is a true. A and a is same and we have to put a diagonal. A and b are not same, so we have to directly put it as false. Okay, now let's talk about the b part. Okay, let's talk about the b part. So b and b is same, so we have to check it for diagonally, so it is false. B and a is also not same, so we have to put a false. B and b is same, so we have to check it diagonally, so it is not it is false, so we have to put false. B and a is not matching, so it is directly false. B and a is also not matching, false. B and a is not matching, false. B and b is matching, so we have to see diagonally, and if we see the diagonal part, that is going to be true, and this is going to give us answer that this string is going to match this string. Okay, means the dp of 0 0, means the dp of 0 0, if it is true, then we have to return 1, because this is going to match the string. And if the dp of 0 0 is false, then we have to return 0. Okay, in this case basically the it is going to not match this answer. Okay, so this is going to give us the answer. So that is how we are doing this question. Okay, so let's see the code as well. So firstly, what I have done over here is I have created a boolean 2D array of dp. So it is going to be the length of pattern.length plus 1 and str.length plus 1, because we are taking an empty string. Okay, now we are just running this loop in a reverse way. Okay, we are starting from the dp of n minus 1, from dp of basically length minus 1 and length of 0 minus 1. Okay, so in this case is of basically this is the case of last row and last column. We are talking about the last row and last column for this part. Okay, so in this part, this is going to match the basically the empty string, so that's why we have put in a true. And now we are talking about the basically the last row. So empty will not match anything, that's why we have put a false. And now we are talking about the last column. Now we are talking about the last column. Now if the last column contains a star, then we have to check the basically a vertically down. So if the vertically down, what is going to be the answer? We have to put that answer in this. If it is not a star, then we have to directly put it as a false. Okay, so these are basically the edge cases. Now else, for the every else part, so this is the case of basically the question mark. So in the question mark, what I have done is, so if there is a question mark, then we have to see the diagonally. So let me put that we are seeing it diagonally. So okay, diagonally. Okay, so we are seeing it diagonally. And if it is a asterisk, if it is a star, okay, if it is a star, then what we have to do, we have to check it for basically the horizontally and vertically as well. Okay, so we are taking the or, because we have to check if either of them is true or not. Okay, so that's why we are taking as star. Okay, now if there is a pattern dot char at I, means the character of both the values are same. If they are same, then we have to check it diagonally. We are still checking it for diagonally. We are checking it diagonally. Okay, if it is not same, then we are directly putting as false. Okay, directly putting as false. Now we, after this loop, what we are doing is, if dp of 0 0 equals to 2, then we have to return 1. If it is not true, then we have to return 0. Okay, so this is how we are doing this question. Okay, let's try to run it. Okay, so it is giving us correct answer. Let's try to submit it. So if you will see, all the test cases are passed. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button.